morning, my name is Ann Fearon. I am a Ring of Gullion ambassador, a member of Tour Guides NI, a tour guide with Gullion A Tours, and I am here today to show you around Ring of Gullion, Newry and Mourne and Down. And today here we are at Ballintemple, looking down at the fantastic views. Right over, you can see straight ahead, we're going right to the Mournes, which we'll be showing you later. If we go slightly that way, you're looking towards the Cooley Mountains, which are in County Louth. And here you've got all the flat plains, which mythology says Queen Maeve and Cuchulainn and the Red Baron Knights had many of their battles over the Brown Bull of Cooley. Towards that way, you're looking straight down on Camla Village and Bestbrook Village. Bestbrook is a very important village for tourists. It was the model village, and it very much was the first model of a Quaker village. It was replicated by Cadbury's and Bourneville. So if you've ever been to Bourneville in England, certainly come to Bestbrook and see the original village that was set out and designed by the Richardsons. Gullion stands 1,894 feet high. Very magical mountain, steeped in history. As they say in this area, kick any stone and you'll uncover history. On the top of Gullion, we have the oldest Neolithic tomb anywhere in the British Isles, known locally as the Calibera House. Then we have a Bronze Age tomb, and between those we have the highest lake in Ireland, known locally as the Calibera's Lake, which is steeped in mythology, with Finn McCool being bewitched by a beautiful maiden, diving into the lake to get her ring, and coming out an old man with white hair, all caused by the wicked Calibera witch sitting watching him. It's on this mountain, on this side of the mountain, during the Second World War, that the Allied forces did a lot of their training. The first troops to arrive here were the 54th Welsh Division. The last to leave were the Americans, and they left this beautiful place for the horrors of the Normandy landing. Right, so if we look out here now, we're actually at the top car park on the Gullion Scenic View from the Gullion Forest Park. And if you look out here now, what you're looking down there on is Dundalk Bay, and those hazy mountains in the background is actually the Wicklow Mountains. So all that flat land there was what was known as the Pale, because in the 1700s, that's where the English were. They didn't come any further north. So when you hear the expression beyond the Pale, that's where it comes from. The English would only stay within the area of the Pale and wouldn't come north. Eventually, Queen Elizabeth I wanted Ulster because of her battle with Spain. And first she sent the Earl of Essex, and then she sent Mountjoy. It was Mountjoy broke through the Pale, through the Gap of the North, and Ulster then became part of the UK, and that sort of led on to where you had the flight of the Earls. Right, so here we are now in the old graveyard in Calavey. This graveyard and church was founded in the 5th century by St Manila. St Manila is the most important saint to the people in this area. The area is associated with 4 saints: St Bridget, St Patrick, of course, that everybody knows, St Oliver Plunkett, and St Manila. And it's here in the 5th century, St Manila founded a convent after leaving the convent at Faughard, where St Bridget was born. And she walked here over what was the old Slave Lucra Road, which was the road that came through the Gap of the North from the King's seat at Tara. And here, when she reached here, it was so beautiful that she just decided to settle here. And it's here that she's buried. So it's over here is her grave. And certainly every year in June, there would be a pilgrimage from Faughard to Calavey here, which is run by Ann Ward, a Ring of Gullion ambassador and mindful expert, and she would certainly take a walk from Faughard to St Manila's every year. Then they would go up the side of the graveyard, right up onto the hill at the back there, where St Manila's Blessed Well is. I have ancestors buried in this graveyard, so my great-great-great-grandfather would be buried in this graveyard. It was rumoured that there was a tunnel under this graveyard, and the tunnel was actually found in around 2000 when they were doing work to restore the graveyard. And it is believed that the tunnel was put there to hide and protect the people, because in around the 900 AD, when the Vikings started to attack Ireland, they actually came from Carlingford and came right over to the convent here and actually plundered here. So the subterranean that was found is believed to date from that time. The old church is actually the oldest pre-Norman ruins. So it's the oldest pre-Norman ruins in County Armagh, and it's actually two churches. So one church dates back further than the other church. So it's certainly a lovely place. And when you sit here, you understand why St Manila wanted to have her convent here. Here we are at Gullion Castle Estate. The estate has only been built in the last couple of years. The castle, of course, dates back to the 1700s, was built by the Foxhall family, who were the landowners at the time. It was built with the stone from the local court tombs, which was taken here to build, and the design of it was mimicked on the design of Gosford Castle, which is over beside Market Hill in County Armagh. The house then went into the hands of the Bell family, so locally it would have been known as Bell's Castle. And the last of the Bells that lived here died in the 1990s, and the castle was then bought by an Australian whose family originated from here, and his decision was to try and restore the castle and to build it. It's a fantastic hotel he has here that you can stay in, or you can stay in the castle if you want. Here we are now with Padraig Cahir, owner of Bluebell Lane. Certainly was his brainchild to build this beautiful retreat here under the foot of Slave Gullion. Padraig, would you like to tell us all why you chose to turn a farm into a glamping site?
Well, Anne, we're positioned within the centre of the Ring of Gullion. And for me, this is one of Ireland's last undiscovered secrets. And I want people to discover this secret. So we had an idea and an opportunity to plant out 26 acres with native woodland. So we have over 20,000 native trees planted. And within this native woodland, we thought we're going to accommodate people. We're going to give them the opportunity to come out and reconnect with nature. And we researched what people were looking for, and it's to disconnect from the rat race, from the everyday washing machine of life, and to come out and to enjoy the simple things like the bird sound and back to nature.
Beautiful. Now, Padraig, you were saying about your wood turning.
That's right, Anne.
Any chance of showing me the wood turner?
Of course. Come on up to the studio and I'll show you.
Let's go to the shed.
Come on.
We'll do it now.
Welcome to my wood turning studio, Anne. This is where all the magic happens.
I was looking at the bowls over there and they certainly are beautiful.
Well, this is part of the process in beautifying them bowls.
Okay.
So we start off with what we call a blank, which is just a solid piece of timber cut into a circle. This one happens to be walnut. This walnut in particular is very special because it was taken from a tree that fell in high wind one winter. It grew on the banks of the Boyne, just outside Slane. And they actually took a piece of that tree to Trinity College and they carbon dated it. And when they came back with the results, they said, well, we know the tree was alive in 1613.
The time of the Battle of the Boyne?
Well, no, that was a wee bit later. But the fact of it was alive then and lived through the Battle of the Boyne and was witness to all that. So it became a witness tree. Well, it became a witness tree. So these are the tools that I would use. These are called wood turning gouges. And there's a process that we use. There's different gouges for different applications. And for this particular process, we use the bowl turning gouge. And what we need to do is remove the material from the centre of the bowl. and scoop
Dig
it
it
out.
out.
Scoop it out.
So does the machine help you scoop it out handier?
The machine does help.
Right, let's have a
Certainly
go.
does. So
Let's
I'm
see
going
you
to
doing
just stick on my mask here.
And I'll stand back a bit
And
just in
you
case
can-
you decide to hit me with anything.
I won't hit you, Ann, but you can stand as far back as you like. Now. So we start from the centre, working our way out. We've left some of the rim. We still have to go down further to get rid of this sawn edge. And you can see we're into fresh timber here.
You can see it's sort of as if you know the grain will really come up with the
Oh,
polish.
it will, yeah.
So this is the finished product then?
That's it, Ann, yeah.
How long did it take you to do that one, roughly?
That there would have took me about 2 hours to do.
It's fantastic.
So that's a commission piece for someone.
So
you
people can commission?
Yeah. I get commissions, mostly commissions through COVID times because we couldn't bring people here. So that's a commission piece. You can imagine the size of a table that boy has.
Well, it certainly would make a very unique wedding present or a leaving present or
Certainly
anything
so.
like that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
something that would become a piece of heritage within a family.
Yeah, certainly so. And then you can get it personalised. So what you do is you give me the message, what you want inscribed on it, and we can put a lovely inscription on the back of the platter or the bowl for the person. So
And think of the future.
So saying you were to get married again, Ann.
Once is enough now. Once is enough.
All right.
Now we're sitting in a roundhouse which Padraig was involved in building. Another native, Colleen Savage, is going to talk to us about the roundhouse and the work that she plans to do within the roundhouse. Well, Colleen, how's the form today?
Hi Anne, how are you?
Well, great to see the roundhouse finished.
It's amazing.
I heard so much talk about it and it is fantastic to come in. So why not share with everybody the roots of how the roundhouse come to be built here in Bluebell Lane?
Well, this was actually a Ring of Gullion Landscape Partnership project, and I was lucky enough to be involved at the beginning of it because I actually crafted the planning application for it. So we got it through planning anyway, and we had some funding in order to erect it here at the site. And it came on the foot of an archaeological dig that was done locally at Dorsey, where the remains of a Celtic age roundhouse was found. And the purpose of the project was thought to replicate the traditional building skills and to share them with the local community so they could too become involved in the practice of erecting a structure such as this, which is the roundhouse.
It certainly looks fantastic, and I know that Celtic history and Celtic mythology is very important to you, and it's something that within the Ring of Gullion area you are very keen to share with tourists and visitors to the area through your song and through your poetry. So do you plan to use the roundhouse here for your poetry and for sharing that ancient Celtic history?
Yes, well, I suppose I have a number of offers, and one of them does involve, I suppose, traditional song, but also the stories, the Celtic mythology stories that are important for the Ring of Gullion and relate to Slieve Gullion Mountain. So I suppose the two that are most well known would be how Satanta became Cuchulainn, or how Cuchulainn came to be, and how he got his name. And the second one is about how Finn McCool got his grey hair, because they are both inextricably linked to Slieve Gullion Mountain, which we have.
Calabara.
and the Cailleach Beara. So we have fantastic views of the mountain here at Bluebell Lane Glamping, because it is situated at the foot of the mountain, and there are beautiful accommodations here for me to be able to utilise, this being one of them. Ashliu Gullion, his father Lam Shiesu, his father Lam Sugru, his Kujuk Nadini. Mier no sport, and yield in sun hat shaw. Akram dochern, cause win go hetra. Ashliu Gullion, on na pigrum heart. Fast free fair is free canusart. Chalky and saru, Gosgilly and Cookart. August very London, na coilya Curchart.
Hi Carl, it's glad to see that COVID didn't hold you back, that you got a new business going here at Camla Lake, which is a big bonus for the lake. How's it going for you?
It's going good, yeah, and it's getting busier.
Brilliant. So how long are you here now?
I'm here about 3 or 4 weeks.
3 or 4 weeks. So you're hoping that with COVID restrictions dying, that people will still come here for their stop and have their cup of coffee and their cup of tea?
So, like a lot of people using the lake and stuff like that in the summertime, and yeah, it's getting good, yeah.
So what all do I have besides my cup of tea?
So
What do I
we
get to go with it?
The famous carrot cake, which is a big hit. Also the lemon drizzle, which is the biggest hit out of all. It goes really good in here. And then just a selection of all kinds of tray bakes, 15s, Corman squares, Corman slices, iced coffees, and then coffee, teas, specialty teas, crisps, hot chocolates, anything you want, and then soft drinks. And
So
we
what's
do
your-
like all kinds of milk as
What's
well.
your best seller?
Well, latte is really popular. Lemon drizzle is the best. Tray bake, and then we have like iced coffees, which are getting popular now with the good weather.
So the big thing is, you want a fantastic piece of lemon drizzle, come along to Camla Lake, pull in here with yourself and
The shebang is where it's at, Camla Lake.